Yo, what up guys, it's your boy, The Gambler, back with another video. In this month of March, we've gotten so many bangers in such little time. Okay, let's start off with Creed 3. So I saw Creed 3 in the opening weekend and I was pleasantly surprised by how good it was. This is the first film directed by Michael B. Jordan, and for a first film, this is quite incredible. Michael B. Jordan proves his directing chops with this. The fight scenes are phenomenal and quite creative, a little bit of a divergence from the style of Creed 1 and 2. Some people might take issue that the fighting in this movie is a little bit more unrealistic, but for me personally, I really enjoyed the fact that Michael B. Jordan really incorporated certain fighting styles from certain animes. I thought that was really cool and creative choice, and I think it added to the movie and gave it a sense of distinction from the previous Creed movies and the Rocky movies. The acting from everyone in the movie is at 10 out of 10. Especially Jonathan Majors, he definitely steals the show. Jonathan Majors proves in this movie why he is gonna become a force in Hollywood. He was already amazing as Kang, but this movie just had a better script than Ant-Man 3, and I think just the better writing for this character Damien just made it more clear that this guy is something to be reckoned with. Really guys, my one issue with this movie is how they dealt with the character of Creed's mother. So big spoiler alert. Alright, so Creed's mother, Marianne Creed, actually dies in this. But I thought that the death scene was handled quite sloppily, to be quite honest with you. It's been set up since Creed 2 that Creed's mother is not in great health, and in this movie, she's always out here assuring everyone, don't worry, I'm gonna be fine. Because she's living by herself, and understandably Creed is concerned about that. And to be fair, for the most part in the movie, she's doing alright, health-wise. But tell me how it's only when Creed and his wife get into a big argument in front of their daughter, which happens around the same time that Creed's mother tells him the truth about what happened to the letters that Creed has been sending Dame all these years, but Dame never received because his mother was holding it back. Which that leads to a big argument between Creed and his mother. The point I'm trying to make is that there's literally all the worst shit you can imagine happening to Creed in a span of 5 minutes in the middle of the film. And then right after those bad things happen, his mom just dies out of nowhere without any indication of her failing health or anything. To me, that scene just stood out because throughout the beginning and the end of the film, you had really strong writing and really delicate, setup for the conflict at hand between Dame and Adonis Creed. But then just that little middle part, the screenwriting just felt really lazy and it just felt out of place with what we've been seeing. Now, just in case that it's not clear, my biggest issue with this movie, which is what I just explained, that is literally a span of 5 to 10 minutes of the middle of the movie. And that is quite honestly a nitpick. For the most part, I thought this movie was actually pretty incredible and pretty fun. I think that this Creed franchise has taken an identity of its own separate from the Rocky film. And a big part of that, I think, is due to the unique directing choices that Michael B. Jordan chose to incorporate into this movie. Very different from what the previous Rocky movies have done, incorporating a lot of fighting styles from anime into what's supposed to be a somewhat realistic sports drama, right? And again, I think for a lot of people it might not work for them, especially people who have been following the Rocky franchise from its early heydays. But for me, as someone who just recently got into this franchise from the first Creed movie and possibly more willing to see more changes done with the Rocky formula, to me, I very much appreciated those leaps of faith choices that Michael B. Jordan made. When I first started recording this video, I was gonna say this is my favorite movie of the year thus far, but things have changed. So before I get to that, I will just give this movie a 8.5 out of 10. If you haven't seen Creed 3 yet, I definitely recommend that you go out and see it, or if it's on VOD by the time you watch this movie, watch it today, honestly.